we be getting ourselves into another problem by not
Sal, this
informing them?
And seeing what I've seen, anybody can file a lawsuit about anything and hold up the workers, as we've seen happen in the past.
Right.
So I can't guarantee. I think we're on very firm ground.
Right.
The way we're done. The recommendations just came down. The ordinance is being considered. It's been on our website. It's been in the newspapers. It's posted. We're going through the procedure to implement an ordinance, which would include the public notice that's advertised and legal. We can make sure that Mr. Lopez and his organization get a copy, perhaps, Mayor, of this. If we go forward with this tonight, as I suspect we will, it won't be ordinance tonight, but this will be the culmination of the work from the planning board's recommendation, the subcommittee, and then ultimately the governing body. So it's still a work in progress. All comments are being considered. We'll make sure that Mr. Lopez is happy to send you this. You can analyze it. It doesn't become an ordinance tonight, but it's on that path. And certainly will be available to explain to him, you, anyone.
I guess in a simpler, to make the question simpler, whether it was changes, no changes, whatever, in the agreement that we made with the Spanish Alliance to resolve the lawsuit, are we responsible to inform the Spanish Alliance of anything, whether this young lady is on the committee?
That had to do with the development plan, where they were going to be hand in hand with this as we went forward with that development. That's not happening.
Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. It was based on our plan with Pulte's, where we were basically partners with Pulte's. We were going to be, you know, a major part of that process. Right now, to be honest with you, we're really counting on the private sector to develop this.
I understand that, and this is great. This looks difficult, but again, maybe I'm not explaining myself.
So the agreement with Bert Lopez really was based on 600 new units, the whole plan that was put forward.
I'm just not looking for another lawsuit.
You know, well, he answered your question.
Anybody is.
You know what I'm saying? But really, it's a totally different plan, totally different concept now.
Totally different thing.
I understand.
And again, we're hoping the private sector does this development now.
Once again, in the agreement that we made with them,
I don't believe we're fine.
We're fine.
Okay, thanks.
And I would like to extend an offer to Mr. Lopez to, you know, if you want to discuss anything that you're concerned, I'm totally open to discussing anything you're concerned about.
Just want to clarify what the comments have been said. I do have the copy of the agreement that was signed by myself and the mayor, and specifically the agreement does indicate under Section 9, consideration and enforcement, representatives from the Hispanic Alliance, Ventnor City, and the redevelopers shall meet monthly to review compliance with the implementation of the terms of the settlement. Within 30 days of the execution of the settlement, the parties shall establish such monthly meeting schedule. Ventnor shall promptly respond to reasonable requests by the Hispanic Alliance for information necessary for the Hispanic to monitor compliance and implement the terms of the settlement. And obviously there is an intent here for communication to take place. And again, we found out about this.
The key word there was the meeting with the redeveloper on a monthly basis. But the redeveloper and the money that the redeveloper ultimately was investing, that many millions of dollars, new housing is gone. There is no meeting.
There is no.
Fully understand.
There is no.
Fully understand.
There is no developer.
If I could, that would have come into play once a developer's agreement was reached between the developer and the city of Ventnor. Contrary to everything that went on, and we could talk about everything that happened between then and now, that never materialized. So clearly, the opportunity to sit down with you with the affordable housing agreement that you had talked about never came to be because the developer turned away and walked in. We never had an agreement with the developer.
But we don't say this publicly because I was very much involved. If somehow we have, in your mind, violated the spirit of that, I apologize. We did not mean to do that. In my mind, that meant we'd be sitting down with Pulte builders, going over housing plans and whatnot. But I will now make sure if you have copies of this, and have your address, or have your phone number, you will be kept appraised. I apologize if we have in some way, in your mind, violated the spirit of that agreement. I didn't think we did, but I see your perspective on it. We'll make sure you're kept abreast of it.
Right. And we do have a difference of opinion. Obviously, when we made the agreement was between the city of Ventnor and the Hispanic Alliance. The redevelop. There's some wording here about the redeveloper, but that wasn't. We didn't have an agreement with the redeveloper. The city designated a redevelopment area. We objected to it. We came to an agreement. Whether Pulte Homes or someone else does the redevelopment, it's still a redevelopment area.
Correct.
And it's still, we still have an agreement. We need to talk it out. And there's
Very happy.
we're open to discuss this because it does have an impact on some of the people that we're representing.
You've
Yeah,
always been a gentleman and a pleasure to deal with. But of course, it's a redeveloper, but we'll make an answer.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.